And then after graduation of the DDM course, I think like the next day, they shipped me over to Baghdad. And they said, based on my background in the infantry, they wanted to put me straight on Raven 2-3. And like they said, that was a tactical support team. And within a few months, January 23rd happened, where they shot down one of our helicopters and killed 5 of our brothers. What had happened was the door gunner of one of the helicopters had taken a round to the head, and they flew him back to the cache. And the other little bird, they always operated in pairs, right? So the other little bird elected to stay with the team that was in contact on venue. And so at first we were tasked with extracting the principal team. And so when we were en route, we got ambushed and they shot out one of our tires out of our lead vehicle. So we had to execute a tire change after we fought our way out of that ambush. And then as soon as we got the new tire on, we get a new mission that the secondary little bird that stayed with the team on venue had been shot down, and that we had to recover them. And the last grid that they gave us was actually over the river. So we were like, man, this bird crashed into the river. So we were driving all these dead end back alley roads, and we were just getting shot up, man. It's a miracle that we even made it to the crash site. And we fought our way through 5 ambushes just to get to the site.
5
Yes,
ambushes?
Sir. Yes, sir. And so once we made it to the site, we realized that we were completely overwhelmed with enemy combatants. There were way too many of them. And the Army shows up and they save us, we would have died. There was like 19 or 20 of us, and the Apache helicopters. I remember being up in the machine gun, and one of my buddies was in the lead vehicle. I was in the second vehicle, and we had set up in what's like called a herringbone, so that more effective field of fire. So like this vehicle pulls that way, the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, right? So that you've got better angles to shoot. And there was a 5-story building that was probably about 800 meters away, so pretty long ways away. And all of a sudden, round hits in the street in between my vehicle and the lead vehicle, and I call out. I was like, "There's a sniper!" Like I call it out on the radio. Second shot, it hits my vehicle, and so I'm laying waste towards where I think he's at. He's in the third. I think he's in the 3rd level, and my buddy thinks he's in the 5th level. And so I'm shooting at the 3rd story, my buddy's shooting at the 5th story, and then I can just picture in my mind, dude's got me in his crosshairs, like I'm about to get shot, right? And then all of a sudden, Apache just flies overhead, and it puts a Hellfire missile in the 5th one and in the 3rd one, and then the building just pancakes like that, and we didn't take any more fire from that building. I don't know who that Apache pilot was, but I'm thankful, man, because he definitely saved us that day. And so we fought for about 3.5 hours, and we finally recovered our brother's remains. And I found out that it was Art. He was one of my boys that I went to whips with, and he was a really good guy. He was actually a Vietnam helicopter pilot, so he was an older gentleman, but he was an awesome pilot. And those guys, they elected to stay when they didn't have to. They put their lives on the line to protect that principal team until that principal was able to be extracted and moved back to the green zone. And they gave their lives for it. And it was the worst day of my life, man, for sure.
Was this the gentleman you were telling me whose twin brother was also flying?
Yes, sir. So he landed in the middle of this gun battle and just walked over as we were loading our brother's remains. We had already put them in body bags, and we were dragging them back up the hill. And he just lands in the middle of the gunfight. He lands his bird, and then he gets out. He wanted to see that it was his brother, and then as soon as he seen it was his brother, he got back up, and then they started laying down suppressive fire for us again. But like, it was just a crazy moment, that it was tragic, man. like I said, it's the worst day of my life for sure.
Sorry to hear that, man.